one bottle of polish. My bottles hold 12 milliliters, so I put in 13. This is a suspension base because there's glitters in this polish. Oop, went a little bit over. So if there's glitter in the polish, you have to use a suspension base or the polish will settle to the bottom, and no one likes that. So next are the scooper spoons that I told you about. These are great for making these 1-2 bottle batches. The bigger stuff, you're going to want to use different utensils, and we'll go over that later. You don't want to be doing like 100 scoops of something. So anyway, let's put a couple of scoops of our main ingredient in here. I'm not going to tell you what the ingredients are. Sorry, I would love to, but that's kind of giving away my trade secrets, you know. So anyway, there's 3 scoops of this first ingredient. Now, like I said, this is how you develop your colors. You don't want to start big, making a giant batch of something that is really ugly. So you will be able to, though later, if you make sure that you write all these down, you'll be able to remake it by multiplying it by the number of bottles wanted. Now, these scoopers are 0.15 cc's, so believe it or not, that can be translated into another one. So we're going to start next. I will tell you, is a platinum. I use platinum a lot. It gives a certain sheen to everything, and again, we're dealing with very small proportions, so this takes 2 drops of platinum. Honestly, I don't know what this polish is because I'm trying to recreate one that I made and made the biggest mistake. I did not write it down. You have to write down everything you do in your journal. Otherwise, there's nothing worse than trying to figure out how to make a polish that's so beautiful and you didn't write it down. So I got to keep going here. Next is one of my favorites. I'm going to use another spoon. You can get a metal spoon to use, but then you got to clean it off, and it's hard to go fast on that. So this is going to take 2 scoops of this. Okay. Now, next is a little bit of liquid, and it's called Love. I'll give it to you. So this is going to take 2 drops of Love. There. Now a couple of drops of Love is in there. Everybody can use a little Love. Okay, next I like to put things in little containers, because when you open a plastic bag, the tiny stuff goes everywhere. So no matter what. So this takes 1 scoop of that one, and 1 more. Yes, 1 more. Okay, and this one still is in its bag, so whew, there it goes everywhere. Last ingredient. Ooh, I'm gonna breathe that in. I have a vent hood installed. I had to turn it off so you guys could hear me. So that takes 1 scoop of that. I don't know if you can see that stuff flying around, but it's everywhere. So we'll come back in a second and we'll mix it up. Okay, here we go. Remember I told you to get these wood sticks. You could actually use popsicle sticks, whatever you want. I like to use these smaller ones because sometimes you need to poke them in the bottle to get stuff done. So anyway, when you're dealing with these very fine glitters, before you use the hand mixer, I mean, you could use this to mix it up, but you want to get it to really mixed up. You need to get them wet. If not, they will explode and go all over you. I had a Stars and Garters explosion one time. So anyway, now it's wet. If you remember, I put on the list these little hand mixers. Actually, at TKB, they sell them for like $5. Believe me, they're worth. They're obviously it's $5. I mean, I got several of them at a time. So anyway, so next, we start mixing. It's kind of loud, but now let's see what we got. The color's really pretty. It's hard to tell with this light in here, but I'm liking it. Okay, we'll be right back and we will try to swatch a little bit of it. Okay, here we are back, and we want to, before we swatch it, normally I would swatch it from here, but since we're limited on time, I thought I'd show you what you do to get the bottles together. And what I do is I put 2 balls in every bottle. Okay, then the next thing you want to do is do your pour. These are always fun to do, right? I like to do them and show them on Instagram and whatnot, but they're kind of hard to do because you got to not hit that side, otherwise it just ruins the whole thing. But sometimes I have to do it like 2 or 3 times. Anyway, this is really pretty. I think we're gonna like it. Whoops, see, not looking, and I lose it. Okay, get it all the way up there. I like to get it close enough to the top that the bottle's full, but you got to leave a little bit of room for the brush to go in because you don't want it to overflow. So, you gotta that is pretty. I really like it. I think it's a keeper. But anyway, the next thing you do is add your brush. I found some great brushes. They're nice, they're wide, and they're flat. Anyway, when you put the brush in and screw the cap on, doing that, screwing the cap on actually is what attaches it to the brush, actually to the cap. So now it's in there and it's one piece.